Hello beautiful people, we're going to dive deep into how the process looked like to make a recent short film that we made, which is the story about my passion for the brand Mazda. I want to share how I did the storyboard, how I planned it, everything that I could possibly share on this video. But before anything else, so why am I making this testimonial video? There's a bunch of reasons actually. One, I want to use this video as a spec ad. This is one of those types of videos that I really want to do in the future, and hope I can do that through client work. Second is I've watched a bunch of lighting videos already, or lighting tutorials on how to cinematically light a subject during interviews. I think it's time to apply those. I've had a rather unpleasant conversation with one of my clients a while back. They said that they didn't like the lighting on the subject's face. It was an interview project too, obviously, and then the lighting on the subject wasn't really that great because I had to bump the ISO. Lighting of the office wasn't that great. I didn't have any lighting equipment with me at the time. They still used the video, but they're not 100% happy with the video because of the lighting of the subject's face. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to improve. I watched a bunch of lighting tutorials on YouTube. Yeah, I'm really hoping that will be the last time that I make a client upset because of my work. It is what it is. I have to take it, learn from it. Moving forward, number 3. I've been a Mazda driver for how many years now? So I think it's time for me to tell a story that I have been wanting to tell. You know, a little backstory. Before I was even here in Canada, I used to drive a 90s Mazda. Long story short, because of that car, I met a different kinds of people, bunch of people who are into Mazdas as well. That actually was the reason why I love the brand more, because of those people. And now here in Canada, I'm still driving a Mazda, which is the CX-5. You've probably seen one of my videos. Really into this brand. I'm not sponsored. This is just from the heart. I'm not being paid to say this. The Mazda is just a huge part of our lives now, and there's no words for it, really. And with that out of the way, let me show you how it works, how I planned and did this video all by myself. Now, one sec. Now, every time I do an interview shoot, I always draft questionnaires for the interviewee, and I would try to read them over and over and over until I got the gist and memorized the sequence of it. Whenever the interview is already ongoing, I don't have to look at the phone or the paper, because that tends to distract the subject. So I did this on Notion. I just draft of bullet points of stories that I would tell on the video itself. So for here, like for example, my dad taught me in a white Mazda Stina. I would mention that on the interview, and I would elaborate that story a little bit further on the actual interview or in the actual video. And once I'm done talking about that part, I would just take a pause, take this box off while I'm interviewing. I would continue on the rest of the bullets. After that's done, I would go into the storyboard. Now, the storyboard, I use Milanote for this. This actually helps me to understand the sequence of the video that I'm making. Like for example, the intro. What type of shots do I need to include on that scene? I just need to have a view of what type of shots I need to be doing or putting into the video. And also to make sure the story goes in line to what I've actually had in mind. Okay, so this is gonna be the overall setup. I got the camera right there placed on the far end of the room. This is where I'm gonna sit underneath the key light, which is just a very cheap light that you can get from Amazon with the light stand. And I have another light here. This will be right at the back of me. This will be my hair light, just shining right on top of my head right here. And then I'm gonna make some adjustments in the background, especially that plant, because on the frame of the actual interview, that plant will be right in the middle of my back. So I think it's best if I move that out of the way, and this chair too out of the way as well. And then I'm going to be replacing this candles with these battery powered candles. seat. So I just pull that, turn that on, replace that, voila. Well, the idea behind here is that I wanted to have like a practical light behind me going on. Just so you know, this is actually the second time that I'm gonna be setting these up. I'm really not sure if I'm gonna do them perfectly again. So what I did is took a photo of the actual setup right there, so I know where to put things in place. And I also made sure that I got some photos of the result of the lighting, just so I know what my goal is. Now, this took me a couple of tries in order for me to nail the perfect frame. I tried to sit on the left side of the frame, right side, but eventually I was happy with what I came up with. So here's the setup with the practical light on. Here's the setup with the key light on. Here's the setup with the backlight. And here is the setup with the track light or the overhead light above me. Now, ideally, overhead lighting should be turned off. But for this case, one of the track lights was hitting the frame that's right behind me perfectly. And it gave the frame a little vibe that I was after. So I decided to leave it on. Now, there's a part on the video that I was talking about the CX-5. For that shoot, we just went to the nearest local park that we could find, and I had a little help from my wife who tried to film me, because for this scene, I was talking in front of the camera. Some of them are also driving shots, which I could not have done by myself. Yes, I could have used a tripod from some of the shots, but I don't like the look of that. I still prefer the feel of the handheld shots. If you haven't already watched the video, you can click this link below to watch it. And that is all that I did on the process of planning pre-production on doing that short film. It's kind of a lot since I'm the only one doing all the planning and the strategizing where to go, where to shoot it, and all that kind of stuff. But I think the short film was a success. But I think there's still room for improvement though. After rewatching the film a couple times, I could have told where my father taught me how to drive a little bit better. Like, for example, that scene could have been done with actors instead of just showing photos. And I think that could elevate the storytelling, make the story a little bit more intimate and personal. Obviously, this short film is just a passion project. I really don't have any budget for this. I don't have any friends who have a son who can act and a father who can act on the film. So that will do for now, but I think the video, it was a success. If you have watched the film, comment down below, what do you think of the video? I would love to know your feedback, and yeah, let's talk in the comments. And that's it for this video. I'm going to see you on the next